Hi, my name's James O'Neill. I'm doing this video from Cornwall, United Kingdom. It's just gone midnight, so I think it's the 9th now of November. This video is going to be called something and then my reaction to the election. I've been suspended again. This is on my new channel now, my backup channel, my new backup channel. So I got suspended from my main channel again, and it was about a couple of hours after I was let back on. And I'd already made a couple of videos ready, short videos, so I put them up, and then shortly after I put them up I was taken down again, not for those videos, but it's for a video 3 months ago. I did a video, You'll Never Look at Tom Hanks Ever Get the Same Ever Again. That's all the title was. Anyway, I got took down for bullying and harassment again for that video, and basically it's personal. Somebody's doing it, somebody's set their targets at getting me banned, so it is what it is. But it's been put in this position where, what do I do? Do I panic? Do I rush about? Now a lot of Americans are in this position because it looks as though Joe Biden might get in. You know, it's 50-50 now. Trump's won the election, in my opinion, my humble opinion. There's been massive fraud, it's been organised. There's no way a man who, as soon as a young girl walks into the Senate Assembly Hall, can't help himself, and he has to rush across the Senate floor to touch her. Little girls. This video of him with those two Chinese girls or Japanese girls, like little twins, only little, and he gets the older the hand of one of them, and he puts her hand on against his cock. You know, he actually. You know, you get hold of her hand and then you might touch your leg or something, but no, he moves her hand towards his, and it touches his cock. So, to me, only fraud can get a man like that elected. So, and I'll talk about some other things as well. Anyway, I got my first suspension, so that's just over 3 weeks ago now. Oh, it's just over 2 weeks ago. But what I'm going to talk about is, a couple of days before I got my first suspension, didn't know it was coming, nothing. I went down. It was as though like I had this little mini depression over a couple of days, and it's as though bad stuff was coming out of me, as though, you know, thoughts were rising in my head. And when I say bad stuff, I mean a kind of dead anger. And I was thinking about the election because it was before the election. And I was thinking about Biden getting elected. And I thought, yeah, let's think about Biden getting elected. You know, this is me to myself. And I started thinking about it, and I thought, if America votes for somebody who is obviously a danger to children, shouldn't be, and I'll move that aside. I'll say somebody who you wouldn't leave your child alone with, your little girl. And he can't help himself, he's fascinated by women's hair, as many Jesuit Catholics are. You know, they have those repressed childhoods with the Jesuit monks and the nuns, and something happens to him internally, and he can't leave women's hair alone. He even sniffed Kamala Harris's hair. But the first time she was on with him, you know, he couldn't help himself, he was behind her, and he gets in close and he sniffs her hair. So I started thinking about, if the American people vote for him and for her, and she is wicked, she is a wicked, wicked person. Which I won't go on about because I've only got 15 minutes. But I thought, if America votes for them two, then they deserve what they get. And now you might go, yeah, but what about the innocent people, the people who voted for Trump? But what about the people who didn't vote at all? Why do they deserve those two? And what will come with it? Because it's going to be bad. America is going to go downhill so fast. Even with Trump, things are going to happen. Right? It's going to be a financial crash. That cannot be stopped. This second financial crash, which I wrote about in my book, which I just can't get the t-shirt or the book now. The second Trump can't do anything about that. It's coming. But with these two, it's going to be unbelievably bad. Now here's the thing. American people will deserve it for voting for them two, regardless. When I say American people will deserve it, those who voted for him have made the coming catastrophe worse because they've not thought about their president. It's not been done on who's the best person for the job, it's been done on hatred. We've got a president that's been voted in through hatred, emotions of negativity and all these things that go on. And here's the most important thing, we've got a president, if it's Biden, that will be elected based on lies. Now here's where I go to another angle. The Republicans are screaming and shouting about voter fraud. And their anger knows no bounds. They can't believe it, that it's so blatant and they're getting away with it, that Biden, and backed by the mainstream media, they're getting away with it. Well, how many times have I told people to go and watch Hacking Democracy, the HBO documentary, time and time, for years. Now all my history, all my videos will be gone soon. I'm fairly certain they'll be gone. But for years and years and years I have told people to go and watch the documentary Hacking Democracy. And there is the evidence, it's undeniable that George Bush stole the two elections. He was involved in 2000, 2004. Senator Kerry in 2004, and that fucking idiot who's on about climate change, Al Gore, in 2000. And if you go watch the video Hacking Democracy, more so with the 2000 election, it's undeniable. It was voter fraud. Florida, fucking hell, it was rampant because his brother Jeb Bush was the governor. And his brother Jeb Bush lost an election in '96, I think, to be governor. He lost it, and they were like that. What do we do? So Jeb Bush converted to Catholicism in a private audience with the Pope, stood again in '98, and won it, romped it, with the backing of the Vatican, ready for his brother. And then he brought in huge voter fraud with the Diabol voting machines. It's there. It is there in the documentary Hacking Democracy. Now the Republicans never said a word. Republican voters never said a word because it was their president that had committed the fraud and won the election. Now we've got Democrats. Democrats were shouting and screaming in 2000, 2004. But Republicans were happy because it was their president that had cheated and got away with it. Now we've got Democrats who are happy that their president has cheated and got away with it. And the Republicans are angry. Well, who's the loser? Well, America is the loser. America is the loser. Loser. Because they've allowed this for years and years and years. And the lies of 2000 took them into Afghanistan and Iraq. Wars for lies. Don't say Afghanistan, Bin Laden, because that's all fucking bullshit. But wars for lies. That's what that vote was about. It was the war hawks of Washington DC had an agenda. Afghanistan, Iraq, Syria, Iran. So that voter fraud was to enable those wars. And look what damage that's done. Hey, Republicans were happy with it. Well, now we're going to have shit to come. Because remember, I'm the guy that God sent to Corwin Springs, Montana, to the Church Universal and Triumphant in October 2000. I'm the guy that God sent to this church to tell them to stay out of politics because they were setting up their support for Bush. So God's aware of everything, but God lets people with the gift of free will choose to allow voter fraud and to vote for these people. So where's America going? Well, I'm going to put a video below, 3 videos. I've got to be quick now, the alarm's gone off. we've only got a few minutes. Lionel Harris, he's walking, I told you he's one of my favourites, he's walking through Los Angeles giving out chicken to people, and he's got this guy filming him, laughing. He's laughing at Lionel. I'm not sure if he's a friend of Lionel or if he's just like videoed him and then he's giving the video. I'm not going to tell you fuck all else about it. Go look at your future. Go look at where Lionel Harris is walking, the people who live there. Democrat City, Democrat State, go look at it. Then I'm going to give you another video. Patrick, he's an Iranian guy born in Iran. And he tells you about how Iran was this wealthy country and then it just all disappeared. It was a wealthy nation, his people lived well and it vanished because of decisions the people made. They allowed their rulers to do certain things. America, well, going back to Lionel's video, and this thing, both this video of Patrick, Entertainment, you'll see it. He talks about a lot of interesting things that you've got to think about. But one thing he says is, people will move. I'm leaving America. People can't leave America because there's nowhere else for them to go in the world. You know, you can't just set up and leave. Only the super wealthy can do that. But what's going to happen is, a lot of people are going to leave certain states and go and live in other states where they are rewarded for their work. And going back to Lionel's video where he's walking around in Los Angeles, fucking think of the future of LA and California. And then the third video is Jericho Green, and he's talking about the election, and he says life goes on. He said I fucking hate it, and he's basically saying I hate what they've done, but life goes on, and I work for my family, that'll never change. I had this like depression where I was thinking about America, and I really thought to myself, you deserve what you get if you vote for that man. Now also that was a couple of days before I got suspended. I've told you before what God does. God takes you down before an event so it won't be a crash, because you've not got so far to go. I know God's looking after me. I know God's looking after a lot of Americans, but there's a lot of godless Americans who are going to fucking not believe the future of America.